What's up, everybody? 32 Icon here. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well myself. Please go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. In good faith that I will continue bringing you great content. Oh, and I'm just another YouTube personality, so take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own research, okay? All right, so listen. First of all, grab your t-shirt if you haven't already. Check me out on Facebook or email me 32icon@gmail.com. All right, so we're going to talk about the TRYBE Defense boat carrier group and ambi charging handle, and I'd like to give a big shout out to Optics Planet for sending this over to the channel. You can check them out. Use my code 32icon for 5% off your order. All right, so let's get into it. So first of all, you guys know when I do reviews like these, I don't get into all of the super nitty-gritty stuff. I just let you know how the product performed for me. And I got a couple of things to say about this particular boat carrier group. All right, so let's get into it. So this boat carrier group, and I'm going to pull it out of the firearm for you in a second, but this is the TRYBE Defense boat carrier group for 223556. It has a nickel boron finish, all right, which is, you know, easier for cleanup. It is magnetic particle inspected and high pressure tested. Now, with the nickel boron, you hear people say that you can run it without lubricating it. Well, I like to run my ARs pretty lubricated. So, of course, I lubricated it before I started. And I haven't cleaned it, so I'm going to take it out and show it to you guys. But I do not run it dry just because I lubricate it, and I know that ARs like to be ran lubricated. So, oh man, so I have about 100 rounds through this, and I have about 150 through the charging handle. But when I first started shooting it, let me go ahead and take this out so I can really tell you exactly what happened. Because I took it to the range, and I'm gonna try to roll some footage in here. The problem is when I was at the range, remember I told you guys before, this brake is a monster, and it was knocking over the camera. It was like shaking the tripod. So for whatever reason, I couldn't get a lot of footage. I couldn't get the footage that I wanted to because it kept acting up. But before we move any further, also, this is an other. People are going to ask why this foregrip is on here. It's an other. It's legal in Connecticut. I know it might not be legal in your state, but if I want to stay out of jail, it's legal here, and I'll post a video for you explaining that right over here, that I have to have this on here. I've mentioned it in a bunch of videos. Some of you guys don't listen to the video, or you don't click on it. When I post a video over here to give you a greater description of why this is here, some of you guys say, oh, it's illegal, you can't have that. Yes, I can, and I better have it on there if I don't want to go to jail in my state. So check out the video so you can know more about it. All right, so let's talk about it. Now, I haven't wiped this off at all. This is it right here. Okay, this is how it looks after about 100 rounds. So, should I go ahead and wipe it off? Yeah, I go ahead and wipe it off. So, when I put this in, I did lubricate it, and it ran really, really well. So, I'm wiping it off now, and it is easy to wipe off. It really is. Now, you might say, well, Liv, you only have 100 rounds through it. Which is true, which is very true, but I'm also happy that it's not particularly hard to wipe off either. So I'm going to show it to you in a second. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Now I can hold it without having all that carbon buildup on my fingers. But yeah. It is TRYBE Defense boat carrier group, which is a nickel boron. The housing is chrome lined. All right. The gas keys are properly staked, as you can see. Let me see if I can focus in on that for you guys. There you go. All right, they really did a good job on that. I don't want to dismantle all of this, but I'll take out so you can see the firing pin. All right. So that's the firing pin there. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right. And let me tell you about my experience with this, because that's what I'm really good at when I review these products. Because again, I'm still learning, so I don't get into all the technical aspects of the product. I can just tell you my experience with it. And I really enjoyed shooting this. But when I first started, and I'm not going to strip it down anymore. You can see the bolt face there, the extractor is in there, and all that. I'm not going to do all that. All right, so let me go ahead and put this back in here. I was told when you check operation to go like that. I guess it makes sure that it's rotating correctly and something else. I don't know, but one of my instructors told me to do that. So anyway, let me go ahead and pop this in so I can get to the meat and potatoes of how it really shot. So as I'm at the range, right, I go to load the magazine and chamber around. Now, sometimes I chamber it manually, and sometimes I use the bolt catch or bolt release or what have you. And this particular time, I decided to chamber it like that, okay? I said, let me just go ahead and chamber it like that. What happened was the bolt didn't completely close. So it was almost like it was ajar like this, okay? And I said, why is that doing that? This is brand new. Like, there's no way I should be having any issues with it. So I did it about 4 or 5 times. I chambered it like that, okay? I released the charging handle and let it slam forward. But again, it opened up, or it was ajar like this. So one of the guys who work at the range, he's a technician, range officer, all that good stuff. He's super helpful. He always helps me out every time I need him. So I went out to the lobby and I'm like, listen, where is, such and such? So they must have told him I was looking for him, because when I went back into the lane to try to chamber it, at this point I was shooting another firearm. And I put the firearm down. He was like, hey, he was looking for me. I was like, yeah, what is going on? So I showed him what was happening when I was doing it. And he chuckled a little bit. He played around with it and he chuckled a little bit. He said, okay, so whatever upper you have on here, and this is a CMMG upper, he says it has really tight tolerances, which is good. He was like, that's a great thing. He said what's happening is I can't manually charge it right now until it breaks in. I have to use my bolt release to charge around. So if the bolt is locked back, then obviously when I insert the magazine, I just hit this. I hate slamming this, but I hit that and it'll slam it forward, closing the chamber and chambering around at the same time. And so I was like, really? He said, yeah, once it breaks in, he said, you'll be absolutely fine. Don't even worry about it. And so I shot about 100 rounds or so through it, and then I charged it on my own manually, and it worked perfectly fine. But it did scare me in the beginning, because I'm like, this is brand new. Do not tell me that, this bolt carrier group is not going to be right for this particular firearm, or is not right in general. But that was not the case. It just needed to be broken in because the tolerances and the barrel was very tight. And so it needed some more rounds through it before I can charge it manually. So anyway, that was my only thing that happened with this particular firearm. But outside of that, I didn't have any problems with it. It just needed a small break-in period, so be mindful of that if you were to buy this particular one. And it's priced for $134.99, but again, you guys get 5% off of that price using my code 32icon. Now, moving on to the charging handle. Again, this is TRYBE Defense. Okay, you see their little logo right there. Not much to say other than it's an awesome charging handle. Okay, it's ambi. It is 7075 T6 aluminum, so it's very light, it's durable. The one thing that I do like about it is if you look closely, try to get this in here for you, you can see that the handles are serrated, so it gives you a lot of grip to pull that charging handle back. Okay, and then on top, it is fixed by 2 roll pins. Okay, so if you either pull it on this side or you're pulling on this side of the charging handle, those roll pins are going to flex and they're going to allow you to charge the rifle or the other or what have you. Okay, and I have about 150 rounds through this charging handle because it was in another firearm, and I was also using it to test some other stuff out. So I have a little bit more mileage on this than I do on the bolt carrier group. But nonetheless, TRYBE Defense. All right now. All right, y'all doing a few things. So I really enjoyed their bolt carrier group. And the one good thing about the charging handle is that it is $34.99. $34.99 ambi charging handle. And even if you're not left-handed, I mean, if you're right-handed and something happens with your right arm, you have to switch over and use your left hand. Listen, if you can get an ambi charging handle that's quality and you really enjoy, then listen, you might want to take a look at it. Now, I've said in previous videos that I really enjoy the Radiant Raptor charging handles, but now TRYBE Defense got me looking at this as a viable option. Okay, and it has serrations on the back as well, but more importantly, right here in the handle where you grab it. But when you charge it, just for guys who don't know, when you charge it, most likely you'll put your thumb there and then you'll pull it. So for instance, if you're here, you're charging it like this. So your thumb is back here, your finger is here, and you're charging it. So it just gives you extra grip for your thumb. All right. Again, that's $34.99. The bolt carrier group is $134.99. 5% off with the 32icon code. All right, before I go, I know this video is pretty long, but Optics Planet sent me the U-Loader by Podovich store. All right, I forgot which country this is from, but this is pretty cool. I'm not gonna do a whole review on it, but I'm gonna show you some footage where I used it, and you'll see that it was really quick to load those 10 rounds. Now, if you live in a free state, you get more than 10 rounds that you can load, but it was really quick. And this is the U-Loader, okay? Optics Planet made a limited edition. That's why it has OP for Optics Planet, all right? But this is nice. And then it comes with this little, what is this called? Let me go to my source here. This is called a high precision pusher. That's what that is. And yeah, you put your magazine on one side, you put your rounds in here, and you push this along and load up all your rounds in one swoop. Anyway, you can check out Optics Planet for that. I thought that was pretty cool, especially you guys who have a lot of magazines or you go to classes and you want to go ahead and load up. And it takes AR caliber 5.56 by 45, 300 blackout, AK rounds 5.45 by 39, 7.62 by 39. Okay. So yeah, that was pretty nifty. So anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. I'll explain it. Thank you for sending this over. Hope you guys are doing well, treating one another with kindness, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Peace.